Hello, Anthony Frevaletti, Poggio, Rubino Winery. Going to do the 2010 Riserva Brunello di Montalcino extended tasting, as I promised. There's a lot to tell you about this wine, guys, so it's hard to wrap it up so quickly. Listen, first and foremost, we don't make Riservas every year. We've done maybe 4 or 5 in the past 12 years. We only use the fruit coming from one single vineyard. So it's the only single vineyard wine, or one of 2 single vineyard wines that we try to make, but it doesn't always happen. So you don't see these every vintage year. This is a legendary vintage, and we had extremely great fruit, so we allowed to keep the wine an extra 12 months in the barrel, so 4 long years aging in that barrel. Yeah, and this one was French oak, I'm really excited to taste the integration here going on. Again, I kind of know what to expect already, but you don't, and every time I do drink this wine, I get just as excited as if it's my first time. So, older vine group here on this particular vineyard in the south of Montalcino, deep in the forest, and he's about 55 years old on average, rootstock, so much more concentrated fruit here. He's got to dig through rocks and stones for 45 and 50 years, so the fruit that this vine gives off is much more strong, concentrated. We pull his fruit later into the harvest, about 2 weeks later, so we're actually concentrating sugars and acids before he has to go sit in that big barrel over there for about for exactly 4 years or more. So listen, I wanted to jump into this guy and clarify, we only make 3,800 bottles. I only have 1,600 left. We don't make it every year. It's very few and far between, but we felt it was this wine evolved in that barrel to a certain standard that we're looking for, and that's why we went ahead and went to Riserva, not just because it's a great vintage, but because it turned into a great wine of the 2010 vintage. And gorgeous color, beautiful brown, Brunello. You know, as you've heard me say before, Sangiovese Grosso doesn't have the same pigments. He has 3 of the 5 normal pigment in the skin as, say, Cabernet or Merlot, other varietals. So he can't turn dark red or dark black and so on. He's brown. And this one is a gorgeous brown. Yeah. You know, I just did a tasting but a few moments ago on the Riserva, and I tried to make it a very quick tasting for you, but here in the past 30 minutes or so has changed again. So yeah, you get this kind of baked fruit pie, baked cherry, baked raspberry pie, and gorgeous woodsy forested aroma from this barrel. You know, black pepper starting to pop out, certainly maybe a mushroom or 2 starting to pop out, but man, roasted chestnut, it was coming out earlier, but really coming on strong now. But then again, you know, almost walnutty, and you know, eating walnut out of a shell kind of has a little bit of a tinge, a little bit of a tannin, a little bit of an acid in there on the back of your palate, and this wine smells like that, you know, like a young walnut, but at the same time you're getting kind of a roasty chestnut aroma. Let's taste him. He's a remarkable wine, a remarkable vintage. 95 euros is a remarkable price, believe it or not. Actually cheap in a normal retail setting. Gosh, I gotta say twice that much, 180 US dollars, 160 US dollars. So release price is remarkable right now. In about, well, a very short amount of time, I'm going to get down to 1,000 bottles. He's going to leap forward, probably 150 euro. When I get down to about 500 bottles, it's going to be about 180 euro to 200 euro. So 95 euros is pretty cheap. Let me tell you, ultra premium wine, ultra premium vintage, and as it's settling on the back of my palate, again, you know, redundant, but yet I have to say, black cherry, blackberry pie, an array of different forested kind of flavors, like herby flavors. Here I'm getting sage, here I'm getting bay leaf, here I'm getting this kind of underbrush, almost really remarkable wine. I can't say enough, and I don't want to bore you guys to death. 95 euros a bottle, absolute value, legendary vintage. You guys should all own this wine. Shoot me an email, send me your thoughts, questions, concerns, or just send me your orders, because it will be gone soon. What a remarkable wine. Older vine, older fruit, gorgeous single vineyard, and 4 years in that barrel, and it's still a baby. Hasn't even begun yet. You guys are going to see this guy for years to come. Thanks very much. Listen, Dom, can you close in on that label for him again? Really pretty label, pretty package. That sunset on there, yeah, Poggio Rubino, the ruby of the hilltop, because the sun sets right out here and casts that glow on our vineyards. Wow, that wine is just continuing to open up. Again, send me your thoughts, questions, concerns. Shoot me an email, guys. Don't miss it. You'll be sorry. Thanks very much. Ciao.